So you want to know what an ale and a lager is, all right? The difference between ale and a lager is a fermentation temperature and the strain of yeast typically. With a lager, it ferments a different type of sugar strain than an ale can, but for layman's terms, ales are going to be brewed at a warmer temperature and lagers are going to be brewed at a colder temperature and aged. Lager or lagern is a German word to age or to store. So how would you go about matching a beer to someone's palate? Or strictly just talking to the person, figuring out what they're trying to drink, what they want to drink. If you're going to go with someone that typically likes their Coors Light or their Bud Light or their Miller Light, I'm not going to try to hand them a stout. I'm going to try to pair it with something that is lighter. Or if you have someone that is on the opposite, on the flip side of that coin, someone that is a stout drinker, I'm not going to try to go with a lighter beer. And then when we're pairing food with beer, you kind of want to match like with like. So you're not going to try a deep stew to go with something that's going to stick to your ribs to a lighter beer. You kind of want something a little heavier that'll match a flavor profile. Just like a chocolate cake, you'd want to match with a brown ale or a stout or something that has that chocolate profile that will compare again like with like. And then you also you want to have like a salad. You're not going to pair a stout with a salad. You want to go with something lighter like a Hefeweiss or a Kolsch or even a Helles to that nature. Something again that will pair like with like. And then fruit beers, match fruit with fruit. If you're having a watermelon, have a watermelon beer. If you're got something raspberry tart, why not have a raspberry beer? So the idea is to pair like with like and just ask the questions to understand the person better of why they want what they want and how can we achieve what they're trying to try.
Okay, so if someone has an issue with our beer, I typically ask what they don't like about it. If there's a certain flavor that they don't like, then I try and find out more details about what they don't enjoy about the beer. I usually ask what styles they typically drink or they enjoy, and I try and find something that we have that can match up to that. And usually we have no problem finding a beer that they enjoy once we kind of go into exploratory questions.
So things what not to say. What you didn't see behind the camera is we were brainstorming because it's a difficult question to answer because you just kind of say it as you go. Things to not say behind the bar is never demean another company. Never at least single-handedly say this person is bad or this is bad. It's like, oh, it's just not the style of beer that I like or things of that nature. And then that actually kind of rolls over into the style of beers that you have on tap. Never say like, oh, I don't like this beer. It's like, well, it's not the style of beer for me. So then you would go on to explain how the beer is. But to know, like, I'm not a big fan of Hefeweisses. I don't like the bubblegum or the banana or the clove flavors in them. So I can easily say, well, it's not a style for me, but it has this banana flavor, which I don't prefer in a beer, or I don't like this higher ABV, just like, I don't like 20% ABV beers. Sorry, it's just not something I can get into, but it does taste like this. So kind of what not to say is don't say the negatives and try to enforce the positives.